This particular morning is shaping up to be one of those times when almost no matter what I tell you, this in this particular show will turn out to be wrong later today. But having said that, there's a lot of activity going on this morning. The bond market has broken through that resistance at 4.2, and there is, with no hesitation at all, there's no doubt in my mind. I got to change these glasses. I have the wrong glasses on, so excuse me just a second. There's the market is down, the NASDAQ is down, S&P, everything's down this morning. I'm about 100% positive that's that and oil. We'll talk about both of those. I see Tesla is seeing a very decent bump this morning with all the great news out of China, including the Model 3 Highland. But you and I might even be expecting more. Not sure. Let me know in the comments. Did you expect this Tesla to go up even more than, let's say, 7 points this morning, 2-3%? Anyway, this is Randy Kirk. I've got Brian White coming on later today. We're going to be talking about all of this. And I will also be watching very carefully about oil. I'll be watching very carefully about bonds. I'll be watching very carefully about Elon's new political moves that he's making with regard to the ADL. I'll be watching very carefully with regard to orders coming out of information about the Highland orders, because so far there's nothing. I can't find anything on that. All right, so all those things. I might do a second show later today about the market, which I don't normally do on Tuesday, because we have all this breaking stuff where these numbers will be important. All right, here's how I see. Oh, and by the way, hit like, hit subscribe, hit notify. And if you haven't got your Cybertruck yet, you have your opportunity to get one early. This is me. So here's how I see Tesla stock this morning. We got to balance the great news, really great news, with some possible negatives. So right now, I'm just for fun, I'm going to look again just to see, because it's moving so fast. It's up 766, which is about almost 3%. That's very, very good. And this positive momentum, it's been going up since the market opened. It was down in the pre-market and has been going down ever since, going up with momentum ever since the market opened. That's a very nice bump. So what do we have? Well, we have China weekly sales came in this morning at 11,000, and that's a little lower than it's been the last few weeks, but that's still really, really good. That is not bad news. That would be at least neutral to good news. Overall, the numbers in China seem to be very strong. Over the weekend, there was a bunch of China news back and forth in terms of their overall economy. For the most part, they were on life support 4 days ago. Then they seem to be doing better over the weekend. And then this morning, there's negative news. I don't know what's happening with the Chinese economy. All I can tell you is I don't think it's a disaster. I don't think it's great. But car sales overall are really good in China. So that's good. And that's one of the reasons I think why overall Tesla stock should be up. The mega factory in Shanghai broke ground. That is a $18 billion revenue producing factory 2 years from now. Okay, 9 months from now, starting up, ramping, probably, $1 billion the first month. I don't know. Huge numbers. Nobody cares. Why? It's not that sexy. And people still see the company as a car company. Now, the good news about the Model 3 Highland is it's amazing, and people are giving it extremely good reviews. Everything so far is very positive. However, for those of you who don't think there's an Osborne effect, well, Jeff Lutz agrees with me. If Jeff Lutz and Randy Kirk are both saying that there's a possible Osborne effect here, it doesn't matter whether or not there is. What matters is there's a perception by a couple of folks you might think have some brains. Both of us are saying there's a real potential Osborne effect here, and therefore other people who are investing in Tesla are making decisions whether to buy more, to sell, to how much to hold. Those people are thinking that same way. Some of them are. Is it 5%? Is it 10%? Doesn't matter. Is it 50%? It will matter. Is it 80%? All right, you get my drift. So the perception is always more important than the reality. We don't know if there's going to be an Osborne effect, but some folks believe there's an Osborne effect, and that can be affecting the stock in a negative way. All right. And then over the weekend, we had lots of new products being introduced at that show in Germany. And, Mercedes and BMW, all the rest, they're putting on their new stuff. They're showing their concept cars. Well, you and I both know that concept to reality is a long way off. We know that nothing that's being shown is really knocking anybody's socks off, but it's all just more competition, more competition. As far as I'm concerned, competition is great. We need the competition. I did an entire show showing you what we need, like 5 million from, like 8 million from BYD and 4 or 5 million from Hyundai Kia, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We need all of these people to make a lot of cars in order to destroy ICE. But the investor, a lot of the investing public doesn't see it that way. They see this as competition that will dry up potential demand for EVs that Tesla will therefore not get. I'm not worried about it at all, but some investors are. Elon Musk taking on the ADL, the Anti-Defamation League. A couple of people said in the comments yesterday they wanted to know more about what does that really mean. The Anti-Defamation League was established in 1912, over a century ago, 111 years ago. They were established to basically deal with anti-defamation against Jews. They have expanded their mission. They want to deal with anti-defamation against any minority groups or groups that are oppressed or groups that are not receiving a fair shake. And their goal is to call attention to that and to lobby against for bills that will help, et cetera, et cetera. Unfortunately, their mission statement no longer matches their actions because their actions seem to be more about taking on whatever progressive cause of the week. You might compare it to the other groups that start out with one mission and then they expand their mission as they get more power. Elon Musk is making the claim that the ADL is specifically getting on the phone with their advertisers, his advertisers on X, and telling them they should not advertise at all on X until Elon takes certain stands, makes certain decisions to censor certain individuals, to censor certain posts, to censor certain kinds of content. And that fight now, that debate have some people casting Elon is some kind of an anti-Semite. I can tell you that Elon is not an anti-Semite. I can tell you that there's nobody that's any stronger against anti-Semitism than I am. I can see them coming. Okay, Elon is not that. But perception again, it's headlines. There are people talking about it. It's on X. People are posting and saying those things. So this has created another negative out there, certainly with regard to some that are in the progressive wing that are already not that thrilled with Elon right now, right? Okay. Stephen Mark Ryan did an entire thing on that this morning. I'm not going to go any deeper than that. Let Stephen Mark Ryan talk about it. I don't 100% agree with what Stephen Mark Ryan is saying, but there's a lot of evidence that he brings up that would suggest that this is really an effort by some in government and the ADL to destroy X pre-election. So that's the concept. All right, anyway, whichever way this works out politically, from the standpoint of the stock, it's going to put potential pressure on the stock in a negative way. So like I said, I'll be keeping my eye on all of these things. I'm really looking for those Model 3 sales numbers over the weekend. That would be very interesting to know. All right. Well, Saudi Arabia this morning has given us the answer to the question I've been raising now for the last 5, 6, 7 days. Do they care more about keeping the price high and potentially crashing the U.S. economy, or are they just trying to get it up a little bit and making sure that the U.S. economy continues strong so they can sell more oil? Well, they've just announced that they're keeping their 1 million barrel per day cut going through the end of the year. We can only hope that this cut in the sales, the cut in the production will be made up for by the U.S. saying they're increasing. Now they're back to pre-pandemic levels, but the word I'm getting is that the U.S. will be increasing production throughout the rest of this year. Canada says they're going to be increasing production. And then we have what we call the hungry countries that are not going along with OPEC, and that would be Iran, Iraq, Syria, Venezuela, and I'm always forgetting the fifth one. Anyway, but U.S. oil sales, the price on the market this morning. I'll double check it in a couple seconds here, but it was up $1.50 again this morning, getting closer and closer. The Texas crude getting closer to 90. So the market seemed more concerned about that Saudi oil cut, and they're not apparently hearing the news about all these increases, and that's why we're seeing this increase. We also have the North Koreans and Moscow getting together and talking about an arms agreement. This can't be good, but I don't know how much that's affecting the market this morning, but the markets are down. Goldman Sachs is now reiterating their no recession stand, and they lowered the likelihood of the likelihood percentage. They give like okay, we think it's a 30% chance or a 20% chance. Well, they lowered that percentage this morning. On the other side of the coin, MarketWatch now thinks that 10-year bonds will go to 5% from the current 4.22, 4.23 range. Crewflation this morning was up just a tick to 2.67. Let's take a look at the details now as we get, okay, so the NASDAQ is still down. People said, please give the percentages. All right, the NASDAQ is down 0.38%. The Dow is down 0.22%. S&P down 0.34%, and Tesla is up 2.32. If you want that in numbers, Dow's down 81, NASDAQ down 57, S&P down 15, and Tesla is up 5.68. Well, the momentum has come off. It was as high as up 7 plus, now heading a little bit up again just in the minute that I'm mentioning this. The Magnificent Seven are split, with Apple down, Google down, Amazon down, and Meta, Microsoft up. I don't have all of, oh yes, I do. I have NVIDIA down, is up also. And the Cathie Woods are almost all down to some degree. Okay, now let's take a look at the rest of the items here. So what we have is, we have the the Bitcoin continuing down, 25.7 at this point. The dollar is at 6 months highs this morning. Gold is down sharply, been down sharply all weekend, and now down even more. We've got oil, as I mentioned, up $1.77 to 87.31. That is on the Texas. The Brent is already over $90. Natural gas, though, is still down sharply, 5.5% down. That's so interesting. Again, natural gas and oil, if you don't know it, they can replace one another. So if the price of oil gets too high, then certain industries are able to switch to natural gas. So when oil goes up this much, you'd almost expect natural gas to at least have some kind of a bump. Bonds now at 4.248. This is not good. That's the 10-year, up 75 cents. That's on the yield, by the way. The 2-month is down a penny, not a penny, one basis point. And the 2-year is also up strongly this morning, but not back to 5.5. That's really good news. I'm sorry, not back to 5%. I'm sorry, on the 2-year, it's now at 4.918. Okay, well, that gives you the lay of the land this morning. I would be remiss if I didn't talk to you about my Cybertruck. Man, we got a lot of orders already. Thank you very much for placing orders. At least one of you said, I'm doing this to support the channel. I appreciate that if that's your reason. I'd love to have you just buy it because you know you need one of these at the cabin. You need one of these on your boat. You need one of these on your plane. You need another one in the cooler to take wherever you go in the in your big your vacation vehicle, whatever it is. You need one, of course, on the refrigerator at home and the refrigerator in the backyard. I mean, there's so many places you can go with this. They are $25 a piece. Of course, we also have, let me grab it here. We also have the camo version. And as mentioned before, they come in this amazing gift box, just a lovely gift box that if you want to give it to your friends, family, everybody is going to want one of these. Are you kidding me? They're so cool. So anyway, 25 bucks, $45 if you're out of the US area, so that I can pay for the DHL. And that doesn't matter how many you buy. If you buy 2, 3, 4, 5, it's still an extra 20 total. So just add 20 total to your order, depending on how many you're purchasing. Many people are buying more than one, I'm sure, to give as gifts. And then, of course, you can also get one of those if you join my Patreon at the $10 level, and you'll get one of those. Now, if you join with a 7-day wait, then you're going to have to wait 7 days for me to ship. If you join for immediate, then I'll be shipping. We should be shipping. I don't know if we'll get them out today. Probably almost 100% certain we will start shipping all these tomorrow. All right. And then Brian White, rather. Always got to make sure which Brian is going to be. Brian White will be with us tomorrow, talking about all of these issues. I've got a list of questions for Brian this morning that I'm sure he is exactly the right guy to ask. That's it. It's been great talking to you.